YouTube being a bit of a pain, but hopefully she be up and running. We've got plenty of time left in qualifying to talk about it, which is nice. Fortunate thing about this racetrack, it's a short lap, so there's a lot of action that can take place around here. There it is there. So the stream's up, the chat's up, we're all good to go. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 14 of the PlayStation America series here on Race Spec Esports. It's time for the most prestigious event on our calendar, the Monaco Grand Prix here at Circuit de Monaco. A 3.3 kilometer, 2.1 mile, 19 turn racetrack. It's one of the most legendary and historically significant racetracks in the world of Formula One. It forms one of three parts of the Triple Crown of Motorsport, level pegging with events such as the Indianapolis 500 and the 24 Hours of Le Mans. It's a race that everybody wants to win, though of course it's also well renowned for the lack of racing that takes place around this tight and technical street circuit. It is very, very difficult to pass at the best of times, but action in qualifying never gets any better throughout any other round of this particular season anyway. This racetrack is so demanding, so technical, that even the slightest mistake can be punished severely. And those tiny mistakes tend to crop up during qualifying, where you see drivers push to the absolute limit. So no, this should be very fascinating to watch, as we have a little over 9 minutes left in quali. Now, several drivers have set lap times already. The current fastest is Passassin, one of the championship contenders, and I better talk about that right now with the time left in the session. With only 2 rounds remaining, the championship for not only the drivers but also the Constructors' Championship is still very much up for grabs. Currently leading is SWM Alp on 195 points, followed by SWM Bean on 191. The gap currently 4 points between those two. Passassin, as I mentioned earlier, is third in the championship on 180, currently 11 points behind Bean, 15 behind Alp. Very much in mathematical contention. Then this man, KD 1997, on 169 points, is still in a mathematical chance for the championship. He is currently 26 points behind Alp on 169. There is a chance that he can still win, but he needs a solid race here at Monaco in order to keep his championship fight alive coming into the final round in Brazil. At the moment, he's currently third with a 1 minute 9.676. He's just jumped down to fourth, overtaken by his other championship rival, SWM Alp, who did that time on a set of mediums? That is quite some time. But, a few new names that I've just noticed as well. Cool Hands Carter, that's a new name. Currently second quickest with a 1 minute 8.5. The only other driver in the 8s at the moment. SWM Fuzzy, interesting, in the Mercedes-Benz, and he's out of the session, crashing out at Casino Square. Oh, dearie me, the Renault, I think that might have been Snake and Beans. It was just getting past there. Quite close between those two, dearie me. I can't find his name. Is he not racing tonight? He should be driving in the Alfa Romeo, but he's got Passassin in the Alfa and JST in the Alfa. Oh. Well, that might just ruin Bean's chances for a championship, though he's not out of it, not contesting this event. Still very much in it, but if Alp scores well here, it's going to hurt him quite a lot. That's some very interesting circumstances to have only 3 out of the 4 championship contenders battling it out here at Monaco. Oh, and also the Constructors' Championship. Currently Alfa Romeo are leading on 225, followed by Ferrari on 218, 7 points behind. Haas on 216, the consistent pairing of Hildebeest and Captain Schmeg. They're third in the championship, 1 point behind Ferrari on 216. Oh, sorry, 2 points behind Ferrari on 216. Then Racing Point, 1 point behind Haas on 215. So very close, only 10 points separating the top 4 teams in the championship. So it's all to play for here at Monaco. I don't think the championship, either championship, will be decided here. I do believe it will go to the final round at Interlagos. But this race, very incredibly important for the sake of the championship. 19 drivers in the field as well. Quite a healthy field at that. It's good to see, particularly for a Monaco race. Typically you don't see too many drivers compete in this because of how difficult this race tends to be. But 19 drivers, fantastic to see. Only 2 drivers yet to set a lap time, Tatal and Doberman. And we're coming towards the end of the session. This is where we should see some pretty spectacular lap times. I do know from Tier 1, oh, and that's a Haas off the road there. That is Captain Schmeg off there at the Nouvelle Chicane. Oh, as Tatal hits the inside wall at the back, quite an easy thing to do. But from Tier 1 Pacific Series, the fastest time set was from GeForce Crichton, which was a 1 minute 8.070. Currently we're half a second off that with Passassin with an 8.5. That's the fastest time I've seen around this circuit from this league. It was some lap time as well. I had the honour of watching that from an onboard all the way around the racetrack. It was absolutely spectacular to watch. A top tier driver absolutely send it around the racetrack like this. Elsman Sav making his way around Casino Square and down the hill towards the first Mirabeau. There's Flavius getting out of the way. It's one of the awkward things about this racetrack. It's very difficult to get out of the way of someone who is on a flying lap. There is so little room around the racetrack. There's nowhere to park the car to safely get out of the way. Even with Flavius there, although he was in quite a safe spot, it's always quite close between the 2 cars on track, and just one simple error can be quite dire. Through the chicane, oh, and clipping the inside wall there at the chicane, slams it in reverse and gets it going again in quite a stylish way. That was well done there, Seth. Ooh, don't go into the wall. And gets it going again, but clipping the inside wall there at the Nouvelle Chicane. I did that during a race in Pacific Tier 3. Quite an easy thing to do. And KD has retired from qualifying in the pit lane. He has. So he won't be improving from 4th. These will be the guys to watch though. Passassin. Carter on an out lap. He's about to start a flying lap. And tell you what, we're right on board with him. With 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the session, taking on a guided tour of the Monaco Grand Prix circuit. Around Saint-Avold, turn 1, in 3rd gear, short shifts to 4th, up the hill, up Beau Rivage, and towards Massenet, turn 3, the left-hand sweeper, before Casino Square, turn 4, then down the hill towards Mirabeau, a tight right-hand hairpin, hugs the inside, 1st gear, short shifts to 3rd, towards the Grand Hotel hairpin, slowest corner in Formula 1, then around Mirabeau, then towards Portier, gets around 2nd gear, short shifts to 3rd, through the tunnel, comes through the flat out right hander of turn 9 and towards the Nouvelle Chicane, slams on the brakes just before the 50, gets through Nouvelle quite nicely, 3rd gear, 4th gear, 5th gear towards Tabac, back down to 5th, for Tabac, clips the outside wall and he backs out completely. And what he's going to do here, I don't think he's going to go back into the pits. He's going to have another crack swimming pool complex, and then Raskas and Anthony Nogues, the final 2 corners on the racetrack. Passassin on a flyer. Current time to beat is a 1 minute 8.530. He was up by a 10th in the first sector. The bulk of time is gained or lost here in the second as Captain Schmeg is given a 5 grid place penalty. Collision with Lake Show. That was at Casino Square according to the minimap. Through Louis Chiron and into the swimming pool chicane. Throws it through, banging the walls, pushing as hard as he dares. around Raskas. And then Anthony Nogues, the final corner on the racetrack. DRS open, hugs the right-hand side, coming up to the line, sets a 1 minute 8.376. There was more time to be found in that lap. It was quite a scrappy final sector. Oh, and actually, I do believe it's session over for Carter. He's not pushing hard at all, and he won't make it to try and set another lap. Not from that far back anyway. Al on a flying lap. Our current championship leader only by 4 points. He's making his way through the second sector now. Has improved by 3/10 in the first sector. Rounding the Grand Hotel hairpin. Around the second Mirabeau now. And finally to Portier. There's a Red Bull pulled off to the side. That might be Nero Nix's car. Now the Nouvelle chicane. Slams on the anchors. Second gear. Chucks it through. Short shifts to third to minimize the wheel spin. Now to back. Revs it out in fifth gear. Just lightly taps the wall at to back. Coming through the swimming pool chicane. Fourth gear. Sideways out of the exit of the chicane. Around Raskas. Second gear. Now around Anthony Nogues. Short shifts to third. DRS open. Fourth gear. Fifth gear. Up to the line. He will set. He will back out of a lap. He's going to start on the medium compound tyre and not start on the soft. That's why he did that. He did a 9.5. That's going to be third place for Alp. But he starts on the mediums, not on the soft compound tyre. That is a critical moment for this race. That little moment there, he could have set a faster lap time on the softs. He elected not to. So it's going to be third place for the Ferrari driver. Seth will cross the line to complete the session. An interesting one at that here at Monaco, as it always is. But it's SMM Passassin who will start on pole position with a 1 minute 8.376. Carter in second place with a 1 minute 8.595, a little over 2/10 behind the pole sitter. Alp in third, 1.2 seconds behind, but starting on the medium compound tyre. Then it's KD, Hildevi, Seffi, Captain Schmeg, JCK, Fuzzy, and then Nero Nix rounds out the top 10. And a 15 grid place penalty. Excuse me, what? Collision with Lucid. Illegal blocking, and the collision with Lakeshore. So Captain Schmeg will be starting from plumb last, I think. What a interesting little tidbit there with Captain Schmeg getting a 15 place grid penalty. I've never seen that before. He got 3 grid place penalties during qualifying. Illegal blocking and 2 severe collision penalties. How fascinating is that? And now we move on to the race itself. Not exactly the most entertaining race to watch in terms of the racing, but there's always drama, there's always action here at Monaco, so hopefully it should still be a very interesting race ahead of us. It's a very long one as well, mentally draining for the drivers, as you're constantly focused around here. You're never relaxed. Because there's always a place, even on the pit straight, you may befuddle yourself with some sort of incident. There's absolutely nowhere where you can relax. You're constantly on it. And as soon as you look away, as soon as you stop focusing, that's when you make a mistake. And it can cost you dearly. This should be a very fascinating race to watch indeed. Now we went through the top 10. We should go through the drivers outside of the top 10. See what they've gone with in terms of strategy. We know that Alp is starting on the mediums. So is Lakeshore in 10th place. Now Lakeshore didn't qualify in 10th. He qualified 11th. So he's on fresh mediums. He's not on scrubbed mediums. Those are fresh mediums. You can see Captain Schmeg is going to be starting last. Those aren't fresh softs either. Those are scrub softs, as he qualified inside the top 10. He's just been placed outside of the top 10 because of penalties. Got Snake and Beans in P11 on the soft tyre. Then we got Flavius in P12 on the mediums. Loquito in 13th on the mediums. JC in 14th place on the medium tyre. Gentleman Seth in 15th on the mediums. Lucid in 16th on the mediums. Detal is the only driver in the field starting on the hard compound tyre. He's in 17th place, a long way back. He needs to make sure he doesn't damage his front wing early on. Doberman in 18th place, starting on the medium compound tyre. And Captain Schmeg, although qualifying inside the top 10, will start from plumb last because of a 15 grid place penalty. He's on scrubbed, soft compound tyres. They should get up to temperature pretty quickly, but he needs to try and get a move on to make up the lost places from qualifying. So, everything to play for. So I accidentally dropped that. There we go. Everything is to play for. Should be a very, very interesting race. Everything up, ready to go. Leaders are coming around Anthony Noakes. The back of the field are only coming through to back. Gonna have to wait a while for the grid to form up. Fortunately, when the AI takes over after the formation lap, you don't lose any tyre temperature. Otherwise, Passassin will be losing a lot of temperature very quickly. In real life, he would be absolutely dreading the fact of just sitting there on the grid waiting. But here in the game, he needn't worry about such a thing. Captain Schmeg lining up into his respective grid slot, ready to race here on the streets of Monte Carlo. Here we go, ready to race. We've got 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. That was incredibly quick. Passassin converts well off the line. He will lead the field through Santavot. The midfield, though, the Red Bull cutting Santavot, not necessarily the way that Mahavir Raghunathan did, but still cutting the first corner. The midfield getting through the first couple of corners quite nicely. It's good to see no major incidents from what I can see. Drivers just trying to find a bit of racetrack to drive on so then they don't crash into one another. Now into the most unbelievable sight on the first lap. You see the car park coming through the Grand Hotel hairpin. Oh, side by side between a Haas and a Williams there. That was Captain Schmeg and Loquito. And someone's had a moment coming out of the hairpin. The 2 McLarens have dropped down to P18 and 19. But what a start from Captain Schmeg, from 19th on the grid, halfway through the first lap. He's into 14th place. Oh, he almost gets bumped there by Loquito at the Nouvelle Chicane. Doberman's stuck at the moment. Needs to get it going. He's got it going. Out in front, though, it is Passassin with a 7/10 lead over Carter. And we've Alp Alpin third on the medium compound tyre. He'll lose out initially compared to the 2 in front, but he's planning to have a really long first stint. So he won't be too worried about the fact that the 2 in front are starting to pull away. KD in 4th place, in a high place at the moment. He needs to find a bit more, though. He needs to try and beat Alp in this race, otherwise his championship hopes are effectively out the window. Seffi in 5th place, Hildebeest in P6. Quite typical to see the Haas drivers mixing it up in the top 10. Very consistent pairing. Though his teammate is down in 13th at the moment on a big recovery drive. JCK in 7th place. He's got SWM Fuzzy on the back of him in the Mercedes-Benz. Rounding to back. It's very difficult to follow a driver through here, and he had quite a moment there coming through the second part of the Louis Chiron chicane. Or locking up massively. And a virtual safety car deployed. For what? Debris, maybe? DRS is enabled, but drivers won't be able to use it. Oh, Gentleman Seth has lost a front wing, so perhaps it was for debris. Snake and Beans is in. Flavius is in. Captain Schmeg will stay out. He will pass him. He's now back into the top 10. 3 laps ago, he was in 19th. He's now in 10th, making up 9 positions. That's a very solid start. Drivers have to be incredibly careful, though, not to get a drive-through penalty. I've seen it on many, many occasions. The drivers don't properly pay attention to the delta and they cop a drive-through for it. His safety car has been out for some time now, has to be said. Those who pitted in may get some advantage from this. Drivers crawling around the racetrack. We're still on the VSC, and there's the drive-through. The Doberman in last place, a drive-through for speeding on the VSC, but we're back on the green flag racing. Assassin trying to pull away from Coolhead's Carter, but he's unable to do so at the moment. Gap is about 7/10 of a second as they begin lap 4 of 39 here at Monaco. 1.8 seconds is the gap between P2 and 3, but again, Alp wouldn't be too worried about that. Just needs to make sure he doesn't have a troublesome race. Mid-pack, fairly close together. Flavius, a corner cutting penalty there. From the looks of things, that might have been during the Nouvelle chicane. The AI of Doberman just trundling around the racetrack. We'll see it here. Drivers are unable to pass through the first sector, and that AI still hasn't disappeared. Oh, and this has cost JST. Hopefully that's something Codemasters can implement in the next game, is that if a driver retires in the pit lane, instantly despawn the car, and not just have it just, you know, dawdle around the racetrack impeding other drivers. That would be great. KD, a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. His first for tonight's race. Rounding Anthony Noves and onto the pit straight once again. Fuzzy close enough to attack, but considering this is Monaco, he's unable to do so. Oh, and that's an Alfa Romeo. I believe that's JST off the racetrack. It is. He's stopped the car, he's going again, but he's now down in 17th place. With front wing damage, I might add. Snake and Beans and Flavius fairly close together. Through Raskas. Just battling for position. Same with Nixon Lucid battling for position. JC into the pits to get that front wing replaced. Passassin is starting to pull away from his Renault rival. The gap of 1.5 seconds between the top two. In fact, Carter is starting to lose out to Alp, who is closing in. Gap of only 1.3 seconds as they come through Anthony Nogues. Gap is quite big though between P3 and 4, and that's why you can see on the right hand side of that racing point, KD has a missing front end plate. He's going to be losing quite a bit of downforce as Fuzzy gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is JST in the Alfa Romeo just in front of KD there. Already lapped traffic so early on. Lake Show doing the same as well. So it might be a double stack. It is a double stack for Mercedes-Benz. That will hurt Lake Show quite a bit. But a new front wing going on to that Mercedes. Must have got damage at some point. He needed to come in and get that replaced. Rest of the field though looks pretty tame, though you never can be too sure around here at Monaco. Something might just happen out of the blue. Speaking of in this game, I think it's one of the best additions to have of these wonderful aerial shots. You can see the harbour alongside the racetrack, the hundreds of boats and thousands of virtual fans coming around Raskas and then Anthony Nogues, the final corner. You have to say Monaco, above all else, has probably the most unique environment for a racetrack. You have this rather radical urban landscape here at the beginning. You climb a massive hill here up Beau Rivage and Massenet. for a street track as well, it has quite a significant amount of elevation change. You can see the famous casino there on the inside, hence the name Casino Square. You come through here, and the Grand Hotel hairpin, rather iconic part of the racetrack. Climb down the hill towards Portier, and we come through this famous tunnel section. I mean, the engine noises from this era of Formula 1 aren't incredibly spectacular, but you could imagine the V8s and V10s that scream their way through the tunnel. It would be some spectacle to sit in there and listen to those cars and see them fly past at over 250 kilometers per hour. Then across the harbour and around Rascasse once again. In the final corner, Anthony Noves. The corner itself is named after the brainchild, I guess, of this event, Anthony Noves. He believed an event here in Monaco, a Grand Prix event here in Monaco was possible. This track isn't exactly what he had in mind for a circuit, but it's relatively close to what he thought up. And to think from there it would become the most prestigious event of any race of the Formula 1 calendar. Be so prestigious, as I mentioned earlier. It would form one of 3 parts of the Triple Crown of motorsport. A feat only one person has pulled off in the history of motorsport, a man by the name of Graham Hill, Damon Hill's father, a 2-time world champion. He would win this event here at Monaco 5 times and given the name Mr. Monaco. He also won the Indianapolis 500 and the prestigious 24 Hours of Le Mans. You hear drivers like Fernando Alonso and even Juan Pablo Montoya, who have been close to achieving the same feat. But with Juan Pablo, he needs to find a way to win the 24 Hours. And for Fernando, he needs to have another crack at the Indy 500. Both drivers have won this event before during their sort of pinnacle years in Formula 1. Alp very closely behind Carter here. Oh, and Carter's just let him go. He hasn't even put up a fight. He took an incredibly wide line through the Grand Hotel hairpin. He just opened the door and let Alp through. They must be good friends. Normal drivers don't do that. They must be friends. They have to be. Oh, Carter's done Alp a massive favour there, just letting him go. Carter, he had every right to drive normally and defend his position. That's how easy it is. You don't have to drive aggressively. You just plant the car in the middle of the road, and with the tightness of this circuit, you're just unable to get by. But no, Carter just swung open the door and let the Ferrari through. Just begun lap 10 of 39, still a long way to go. There's a car in the pit lane as well. That must be Flavius. It is. The Racing Point down in 16th place. Sector 1 yellow flags. It doesn't appear to be anything major. Now this is going to be tricky for Possession. Those cars in front. Lap traffic. Ghosting is turned on, so if there is some sort of unfortunate error, it won't result in anything. But if ghosting was turned off, this would be quite a tricky time for Possession to try and negotiate the lap traffic, try not have any incidents with them. The Nouvelle chicane. Snake and Beans will get out of the way shortly, and if he doesn't, then he may cop a 5-second penalty from either the in-game stewards or from the race spec stewards, as they do say lap traffic still have to obey blue flags even with ghosting turned on. So when you are shown the blue flag, you must get out of the way in a safe and controlled manner. Sometimes that isn't just possible, and that's why we have ghosting turned on. But drivers still have to find a way to get out of the way in a safe and controlled manner. Alp is now coming across that same traffic, and he's actually pulled away a significant margin over Carter. 3.8 seconds. Hildebeest in the pits. JCK as well. I believe that's Lucid He's made a mistake at Casino Square. Can't find his name. There it is. He has Robert Kubica it. Stuck in the wall. Needs to get going, otherwise he'll get disqualified. You have to say, out of all racetracks on this game, this has definitely got the most work put into it. Just all this landscape all over the place. It would have taken a lot of effort to try and get this done. Lucid gets going, down in 18th place, so a long way behind the leaders. Currently 5.2 seconds behind Flavius, who just passed him after he just made a pit stop. Lap 12 has begun. The gap is 3 seconds between the top two. And it's steadily closing. Those soft tyres really starting to feel the burn. Those medium tyres can last about 30 laps. They can go for a really long time. So Alp in a very nice place here in clear air. Passassin locking up through Mirabeau. You can see the carpet of rubber that's being laid there towards the apex of turn 6. Sorry, turn 5. Turn 5, not turn 6. Turn 6 is the Grand Hotel Hairpin. Carter really starting to fall away, dearie me. But it's a big gap between P3 and 4. Look at that, 29.2 seconds. Quite a common sight actually here at Monaco to see such big margins. Granted, the three in front haven't stopped yet. But it's not an uncommon thing to see the leaders starting to lap cars even in the top 10. KD, I think this is Nick's. It is. Has to try and find a way past, unable to do so at the moment. Round Portier. Flavius respecting blue flags. Nick's not so much. As a result, Nick's has passed Flavius for 15th place. See, this is what I mean about respecting blue flags. And there's a grey area within that. I wouldn't say Nix was holding up KD in any way, but was he respecting the blue flags? Flavius did, but maybe he, I guess the word to use is over-respect, maybe, under blue flags. He almost came to a dead stop before the tunnel, and as a result, Nix flew past. There's Carter exiting the pits. This is actually going to be fairly close here for P3. KD ran the outside at Saint-Devote, and he is in front, heading up the hill towards Massenet. So a massive undercut there for KD, and it's worked out in his favour, getting off the soft tyres early. And even with those four lap older medium compound tyres, he should still be able to make it to the end of the race. That is Laquito's car getting in amongst the leaders through the tunnel. Gap is half a second between these two. So Carter, he's got significantly fresher tyres, but he doesn't have track position, and track position is pretty important around a racetrack like this. KD will do all he can to try and hang on to third place. There's no real opportunity here unless KD makes a mistake heading through Raskas. He doesn't do that. Does compromise his line a little bit. Carter is close. He'll use DRS here. Probably use a bit of overtake, will he? No, he's just going to stay in behind the racing point, heading towards Saint-Devote. Maybe up the hill here? No, doesn't use any battery. Just going to stay in behind KD for now. I believe he understands his battle is with the racing point driver. And plan this out. Not rush it, just trying to keep the pressure on KD. Try and make him make some sort of error. Exiting Portier through the tunnel. Oh, he's using overtake now. Heading towards the Nouvelle Chicane. KD defends, then cuts across, then down the inside. Carter, he looks, doesn't go for the move though. Virtual safety car deployed. What's this for? This will help. Oh no, the two leaders, they've already passed pit entry, so they can't take advantage of this. And Assassin's already pitted. Hildebeest has got a missing M plate. Oh, there's a front wing missing on Nix's car, I think. Yeah, look at that. You can't see the front wing on that car at all. So that's why the virtual has come out, because of debris. Yeah, look at that. Completely missing. DRS is now enabled. We're back under green flag racing. Still haven't quite hit the halfway mark either. We've still got a long, long way to go. Alp leading the way now. A margin of 11.6 seconds. He needs to continue to pull away from Passassin. That gap is closing though. Exiting the pits is one of the Mercedes. It's Fuzzy. Fuzzy will try and not hinder the race leader too much. Gap closes now to 10.8 seconds between the top two. Now Alp, he will have the faster tyre at the end of the race. I hate it when lap traffic does this. See, yeah, ghosting is turned on, but you're still a lap car. Don't bother fighting with the leader. You're just distracting the leader. A lot of people don't seem to comprehend the idea that when you're showing blue flags, you're not the important car. You just get out of the way and let the leader do their thing. Fortunately, Fuzzy is starting to pull away. You don't want to hinder the leaders. Very silly thing to do. KD still under a lot of pressure here from Carter. Sector 3 yellow flags. I'm not sure what that's for. Carter, can he go for a move here at the Nouvelle Chicane? Not close enough, I'm afraid. Missing the apex though, and another penalty for KD. He missed the beginning of the Nouvelle Chicane by about a metre or so, and he had to compromise through the second part of the Nouvelle Chicane. As a result, he copped a warning for corner cutting, and another 3-second time penalty has been applied. Rounding Anthony Noves and onto the pit straight again. Sitting behind, utilising the slipstream, but he's not close enough to attack here into turn 1. There's a Renault of Snake and Beans just in front. He'll get out of the way shortly. Passassin is closing up tremendously on Alp. Alp's decision to perhaps start on the medium compound tyre is not paying off. Snake and Beans. There we go, gets out of the way through the Grand Hotel hairpin now. KD, a bit of an awkward run. They're side by side through Mirabeau. Oh, and KD almost puts Carter into the wall there. Carter had to back out of the corner. If he kept it there, he would have 100% ended up in the wall. Renault not close enough to attack here at the Nouvelle Chicane, though you have to say Carter is tremendously quicker at this stage. Through Tabac and through the swimming pool complex. Gap closes up some more. I think he'll be able to attack here. The field everywhere else is fairly well spread out. Not a lot's happening. This is pretty much the only battle going on at the moment. Towards Mirabeau. Not close enough. Now we saw Carter get a tremendous run out of the hairpin. Maybe he'll try and do it again. Unable to do so. Can't quite get a run out of Portier either. He's not going to use any overtake. KD running low on battery as well. Through the chicane. Oh, and there's an incident coming up. A McLaren. It must be Lucid. Doberman is out. Oh, and then he's had a big shunt. There's wing damage as well. Assassin really closing up now. 1.5 seconds between first and second place. Might just witness a battle in a few moments' time between those two. As Lucy retires from the session, so both McLarens not going to finish this race. Through Casino Square, down the hill towards Mirabeau. Oh, Carter is close. He's got so much speed, but he can't find a way past. Such is Monaco. Carter, he's just able to turn in a hell of a lot more around the hairpin. Through the tunnel. Oh, Carter is close. KD's using overtake to counter. Will he look down the inside? He'll try, but he won't commit to the move. Can't get it done. Lighting it up, though, at the exit of the chicane. Now Passassin is right on the back of Alp. They're so far in front. Almost 31 seconds separate P2 and P3. Absolutely massive. Oh, and that's a Williams. Laquita has gone straight on there at the hairpin. Alp is in a bit of trouble here. He's on significantly older tyres. He needs to make another pit stop. The only thing in his favour is the fact that he has track position. He's going to defend here. He goes back onto the racing line, realising that Passassin can't really get any sort of move done. Slow racing point, trying to get out of the way. That is Flavius, rounding to back. Through Louis Chiron, then into the swimming pool chicane. Fourth gear, riding the brake and throttle at the same time to just stabilise the car. Then around Raskas. Then Anthony Noakes. Alp will get DRS because of the lap traffic. So that will give him a small reprieve. But he's just yelling at the Haas to get out of the way. There are blue flags being shown. You need to respect them. When blue flags are being shown, you're not the important car. You need to just get out of the way of the leaders. Do not impede them in any way. Rounding Mirabeau. Around the tight hairpin of turn 6. Very, very close to one another. Once these two get through the Nouvelle chicane, we'll go and have a look at Carter and KD. Alp is close. He's very close. Can Assassin go for a move? No, he can't. Oh, and Carter's done him. That was at the I can't even find the words. Oh, and he's just slammed Carter into the wall. What's going on here? So these two must have had contact at Casino Square. They had to have had contact. Perhaps KD went into the wall and Carter found a way past. Perhaps KD in retaliation at the hotel hairpin at turn 6 slams into the back of Carter. Both drivers have wing damage. I have to say KD is considerably worse off. They will have to make a pit stop here. In they come. Assassin's still on the attack. Can he find a way past the Ferrari here? He is close, but he's not using any battery. Suggests to me that he's not going to go for a move. I think Assassin knows he's holding all the cards. He can go to the end on these tyres. Alp, he needs to make another pit stop. It's coming soon. He needs to make another stop. That promotes JCK into 3rd place and Hildebeest into 4th. Carter and KD are now P5 and 6. Can't make a move here. Up the hill, up Beau Rivage and towards Massenet. The gap is 1.5 tenths. Rounding Massenet into Casino Square, where I believe the incident between KD and Carter kicked off. He ultimately saw it end here at the Grand Hotel hairpin. Rounding Portier. Now the tunnel. Persassin is a bit closer compared to last lap. He's going to not go for any sort of move just yet. Alp running fairly low on ERS. It's very difficult to get that back as well. Of course, the energy recovery system utilizes kinetic energy and converts it back to electrical energy, so you get it all back when you slam on the brakes. See there, the battery goes up, slamming on the brakes. Oh, and Alp gets a penalty. You would think around a racetrack where you brake so much you'll be able to gain back the ERS you've lost. It's actually not the case. It's really difficult to get it back. You have to be very, very careful on how you use it. You can't just dump it all at once. You have to say Persassin in a really nice spot here. Currently third in the championship. 15 points behind Alp, the current championship leader. Nouvelle. Alp under a significant amount of pressure as Carter and KD go into P3 and 4. JCK had to make a pit stop for a new front wing. I think the same goes for Hildebeest. Oh, the same definitely goes for Hildebeest. He's got a completely missing front wing on his Haas. Such is the demanding nature of this racetrack. Any simple mistake and it can cost you dearly. You need to be very much on top of your game around a circuit like this. Persassin close but no Schlager. To think the first and second place are lapping 6th place. That's JCK in P6. They're lapping him already. We still got 15 laps to go. 14 and a bit, really, but still. Oh, JCK goes through Persassin. Yeah, it's rather amazing, isn't it? Oh. JCK ghosting through the leaders. Just wonder if ghosting was turned on, how different this would be. Oh, and now makes a mistake, and here comes Persassin! Lighting it up out of the exit of the chicane, and Persassin goes into the lead of the race. A costly error from Alp. His tyres very much worn out. Will he go into the pits here? No, he will keep fighting. I guess the soft tyre can't make it from this distance. He needs to keep going. But that just might be race over for Alp. For the race win at least. He's still on course for a podium finish. But a costly error there at the Nouvelle chicane. Lighting the rears up, losing control of the car. Persassin just powered past. He was well in front of Alp before Tabac. And look at the gap, 2.6 seconds already. In the matter of one sector. Really shows you how much Alp was holding up Persassin. So Alp, he's losing time here. He's going to lose about 20 seconds with a stop. So he has to claw that back with the time remaining, and I don't think that's possible. He basically needs to pray for a safety car to come out in order to revive his chances for a race win. Great aerial shot here. Set a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Several drivers have got them, and Alp is in. Those are the soft compound tyres coming out. He put on his car and away he goes. That would also be interesting to see in the next game. Whether Codemasters can implement... Ooh, hang on. That's Carter. He's made a mistake at the Nouvelle chicane. Laquito has retired. His car is stationary in the first sector, and a virtual safety car is deployed. The third one. Oh, and that's a significant impact as well. That's ripped the rear wheel off the Williams. And into the pits goes Carter. As I mentioned, he made a mistake at the chicane. He didn't get any damage from it though, just a new set of soft compound tyres going on the car. And oh, that was a very short virtual safety car there. He'll exit the pit lane. Oh, it's going to be close with Fuzzy. Heading through Saint-Devote. Carter is just in front. Oh, and the revving glitch. Oh, I hate listening to that. Guito has left the session. One of 3 retirements over the course of this race. Still have several laps to go. Gap 23.4 seconds here. Alp isn't closing that up. He needs a safety car. KD currently 3rd place. 25 seconds behind Alp. As I said, he needs to finish in front of the Ferrari driver in order to keep any hopes of fighting for the Drivers' Championship. Carter closing in at a rapid rate of knots, but he makes a costly mistake at Tabac, smashing his front wing. He will need to get that replaced. One minor lapse in concentration, and it's cost him dearly. Fuzzy, a 5-second penalty for speeding. My word, we're having a lot of pit stops here. New front wing, new soft tyres going on his car. A loss of 20 seconds. Where will that drop him? And Seffi's coming around Raskas. Whereabouts is Hildebeest? He's at the Nouvelle Chicane. I have absolutely no idea where anybody is at the moment. The field is so spread out. It is actually ridiculous. When you look at the gaps at the front, it's 22 seconds between P1 and 2. It's 26.5 between P2 and 3. Then it's 25.5 between P3 and 4. Further 8 seconds behind, you'll find Seffi in P5. Then it's 10.8 to Fuzzy. He's got Carter all over the back of him. And it's a further 9 seconds to Hildebeest. And Captain Schmeg, after starting from last, is in 9th place. 2 seconds behind his teammate. What a bonkers race we're having. Carter, I don't think he'll be mucking around here. Oh, but he's not close. Oh, he's going to try though. Oh, and he spins out. He turns in too early. His rear wheel clipped the Armco on the inside, does a pirouette, gets going again, but he's lost a significant amount of time, and he copped a 5-second penalty for cutting the chicane as well. Fuzzy left the door open, and that was completely on Carter on the fact that he turned in so early. It's not like Fuzzy turned in or anything. He left that door really wide open. Ah, dearie me. I have absolutely no idea where to look. Keep our eyes on the leaders, I guess. Just wait for the drama to happen. Wherever it takes place. Oh, dearie me. We'll never see a race like it at any racetrack on the calendar. We won't see gaps like these. Let's have a look at the pit stops, shall we? Drivers, look at this. Barely anyone's done one stop. 2 people have done one stop. The other person who's done one is Doberman, but he's out. He's retired. Everyone else has done 2 or more stops. Carter's done 4. Same with Nix. Laquito, before his incident, did 5. Oh my goodness me. Only 2 drivers have successfully done the 1 stop. That's the people in P1 and 2. Demonstrating perfectly the idea of minimizing your mistakes. To not make any mistakes is critical around a circuit like this. Oh, and is that JC? It must be. Bringing out the brief yellow flag. Unbelievable, truly unbelievable. KD's sort of in no man's world at the moment. He's safe in P3 for the moment. Ooh, having a moment through Casino Square though. Could hear that with the throttle. Carter's caught back up to Fuzzy. Fuzzy having a moment through Tabac. Through the swimming pool complex, not quite close enough, and making a bit of a meal of the swimming pool chicane, and Fuzzy makes a meal of Raskas. He goes into the wall. And Carter goes back by. What is going on? And Fuzzy's counter-attacking here. Carter's not using DRS, which is available to him, and he gets back by. What? Maybe an illegal overtake? Was he given an illegal overtake, so he had to give back the position? Perhaps? I have no idea. Oh, and Seth... Sorry, no. That's Flavius out of the session. Same with Seth, he's out of the session as well. Where is he retired? Flavius has crashed out. JCK, I'll go with you. There he is, there's Flavius. Seth, he's at Santa Vot, but I swear that dot was moving. Another VSC. We haven't had a proper safety car. We've had 4 VSCs. KD pits. Same with Passassin. Passassin has got that big of a margin. He can pit on the VSC, put on soft tyres, and that will be the final nail in the coffin for Alp. He will not be able to challenge for the lead under almost any circumstances. Nix gets a drive-through penalty for speeding on the virtual safety car. He's in 11th place. Seth has left the session. And Nix is the only driver with a drive-through. You can see the monumental amount of penalties as well that certain drivers have. Fuzzy with 11 seconds. Hildebeest with 12 seconds. But Assassin, he can now try and claim fastest lap with the laps remaining. And I think he'll be able to do it as well. Carter still on the back of Fuzzy here. They're still scrapping it out for position. Oh, Carter sideways, exiting the hairpin. What does Fuzzy do here? Uses overtake. Carter nowhere near close. Very deep on the brakes, but not close enough to attack. Oh, and that's a massive impact with the wall there for Fuzzy. He now has a missing end plate on the right-hand side of his Mercedes. He's now going to lose a tremendous amount of downforce. Will he pit? No, he is going to fight on with the damage. Deary me. Okay, he's going to try and fight fastest lap as well with those fresh, soft compound tyres. Through the chicane, exiting the chicane. Gap is 49.3 seconds. Alpin's second place. He's going to keep that. He's got a massive margin to KD. If he wanted to, he could pit for a fresh set of soft compound tyres and have another go at fastest lap. I think Passassin might take that away from Alp. I think Alp has it at the moment. There we go. He most certainly does. What will Passassin do here? There's a 1 minute 10.121. He's a full 7/10ths faster than Alp, comparing fastest laps. Look at that. Only 4 cars on the lead lap. And one of them is just about to get lapped. JCK in 4th place. Through the Grand Hotel hairpin. Around the second Mirabeau. JCK has to respect the blue flags. There we go. Only the drivers on the podium have not been lapped. That is it. I have never seen that before. Assassin having the time of his life out in front, got a commanding margin. Gonna power past the tail, lap him again to start lap 36 of 39, 4 laps to go. 36, 37, 38 and 39. 4 more tours of this circuit. Rest of the field fairly well spread out. No idea where to look. Absolutely none. So this will turn the championship more or less into a 2-horse race between Alp and Passassin. Though Passassin is a reserve driver, he's very much in the hot seat to try and take the driver's title. This will put KD out of mathematical contention. I'm not sure about Bean though. We'll have to wait and see. 3 laps to go now. 37 of 39. It's been an incredibly long race. Amazingly, no safety cars. We had 4 VSCs over the course of this. 4. Not one safety car. Not one proper, legitimate safety car. And I think with the laps remaining, we won't be seeing one. Detail a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. They'll shape up the results just a little bit. If the gaps are back that big, I'm not 100% sure they will change the results too much. Fuzzy and Carter will change position. Gap between them is 3.2 seconds. Fuzzy has 6 seconds more penalties. Only basic arithmetic will tell you that Carter will finish in front. Other than that, I don't think there'll be any other changes to the order. 2 laps to go now for Passassin. Gap forever increasing between himself and Alp. Will Alp pit? He will. I thought he will too. He's going to give it one last shot to try and take fastest lap. Time to beat 1 minute 10.121. This is basically going to be a quali lap from Alp here. Exiting the pits now. Hildebeest with a 3-second time penalty. That's probably going to be a 5-second, is it? No, the game didn't give him a 5-second penalty. He just crossed over the yellow line there. When you cross over the yellow line, sometimes the game expects you to take turn 1 normally rather than take the route that's shown to you with a pit exit. And when you do that, the game believes that you're corner cutting and will give you a 5-second penalty. But beginning his final lap now, lap 39 of 39. It's been some drive from Passassin, has to be said. He's now both stints to absolute perfection. His first stint on the soft tyre, his second stint on the mediums. He had a free choice to pit onto the soft compound tyre when a virtual safety car came out. He has claimed fastest lap. Might just be a grand slam for Passassin. He's got pole position, he's got fastest lap for the moment. And it's looking like he's going to take home the winner's trophy. Minus winning the Drivers' Championship, this is going to be the greatest winners trophy for this season. You're around the final part of the swimming pool complex through La Rascasse. You will come around Anthony Nogues for the final time and onto the pit straight. SWM Assassin will win the Monaco Grand Prix in emphatic style. Alp, can he take fastest lap away from Assassin? Let's have a look. We'll bring up the lap time. He needs to improve by 7/10. Throws it through to back. He's up by 8.5. He just might take fastest lap. Exiting the swimming pool complex around Rascasse. And around Anthony Nogues, the final corner. He's going to use all his ERS. He's going to use all his resources. Up to the line, he will do a 9.5. He will take fastest lap away from Assassin. He will take that extra point heading into the final round at Interlagos. All the other drivers have crossed the line and finished. We're just waiting on Captain Schmeg and Hildebeest, the two Haas boys. And then this man, KD, he will round out the podium in 3rd place. He'll take that podium finish, but I'm afraid his Drivers' Championship aspirations are all but over. There we go. A weird race here at Monaco. Just big gaps, dramas, incidents, you name it, it happened. Captain Schmeg, given driver of the day, started plumb last, finished in the top 10. And here are the podium celebrations. SWM Assassin taking home the winner's trophy. Alp in 2nd place, 5 points haul plus fastest lap. KD in 3rd place. He tried to hang on to his championship aspirations. Unfortunately, he has to let them go. So, with that out of the way, time to do some quick math, shall we? So Alp, he will add 21 points to his name. Bean will add 25 points. KD, I think it's 18, I think, for 2nd place. I'll double check that in just a moment. I'll do the math once we get through this unofficial results screen. We went through the top 3, Assassin, Alp and KD. JCK finished 4th. Every driver from 4th down got lapped by the leader. That's how big the gaps were. Seffi in 5th, Fuzzy in 6th, Carter 7th, Captain Schmeg in 8th from 19th. Pretty solid drive there. Hildebeest in P9, Detail 10th, Lake Show 11th, Jay Steen 12th, Snake and Beans 13th, and Niru Nix, the final finisher, in 14th place. 5 retirements over the course of this one here at Monaco. Quite a common sight, really. But that will end what has been quite a long race indeed. Holy moly. So I'll double check the points that they score. I'm pretty sure that's right. Oh, it's 16 points for 3rd, not 18. So, in which case, Alp goes into the final round with 216 points. Assassin, he will go to the final round on 205. The gap is 11 points between the two. Bean on 191. Gap between him and Alp is 25 points exactly. Meaning, mathematically speaking, it is still a 3-way fight for the Drivers' Championship. So it's still possible for them to fight on for the championship, but it's going to take some effort. So realistically, it's going to be a fight between Alp and Assassin. They're only 11 points apart. But Bean, mathematically speaking, because he's only 25 points behind, if he scores a win with fastest lap and neither Alp or Assassin score points at Interlagos, then Bean can win the Drivers' Championship. It's a mathematical possibility, but it's highly unlikely. But KD, yeah, he's well and truly out of mathematical contention, I think. With 16 points, his tally increases to 185. It's not quite enough, unfortunately. So, KD, the best he can fight for is probably third in the championship. And there we go. An interesting conclusion to that Monaco race, seeing the sheer gaps in the field. And I do believe that will also conclude round 14 of this championship. Next week, it's the final round, as I've mentioned several times over the course of the stream. It's at Interlagos, Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache for the Brazilian Grand Prix. A fantastic racetrack that has seen on many, many occasions some great racing, particularly in the Americas series on Race Spec Esports. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But the action doesn't stop here at Monte Carlo. At the end of the week, on the weekend, we will have the Race Spec Global Tiers battle it out around the Principality. That should also be very, very interesting to watch. But for the Americas series, it's time for us to win. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been the Smeg, and we'll see you next week for the Brazilian Grand Prix at Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. Until then, goodbye.